Welcome to another day of learning. Today is day 36. We're still moving in progress, building this project steadily. So today, I want us to focus on the user bookings endpoint and then the page. So let me just start. Let's start the front end immediately, and then say npm run dev. I think yesterday towards the end we discovered a bug, which I guess I'll fix later. Then the backend Docker compose. Okay, I'm here to investigate the challenge we got yesterday. Here, what do I need to do? Let me first push the changes we made yesterday. So for this, I can say I can move out of this directory and then stage everything. Then commit. Say this calculate a feature. Create user. Can I call it user profile endpoint and integrate front end? Okay. Then, okay, rough is refusing, can add, and it should pass. All right. I'll look at the warnings later. Then after that, I can now push. I can say git push public, okay, so that you guys can see it. Minus mirror, okay. If you've noticed in the recent videos, I've not yet pushed to the actual main code base, the private one, okay. But at least I'm pushing this for you guys so that you can see the changes and have them and play around with them. In any case, if you want, like, for example, to play around with it, you can have it. But the reason why I'm not pushing to the private repo yet is because I want to avoid triggering what is called triggering the job in the GitHub action. Okay. Wait, but it looks like some things have not yet been. I thought I was in the right git status. What's happening? I thought I'd added all this. Okay. Let me see, current working directory. Oh, I get it. I think I get it. Changes to be committed. This is interesting. I seen this. I thought I just committed this. Did I miss out on something? Let's find out. I ran git commit. Did they misspell git commit somehow? Oh, I get it. Are you seeing this? It says stashed changes conflicted with hook fixes, rolling back fixes. Oh, I understand. It did not actually commit. I understand because it made some mistake. It rolled back. Okay. There's an issue with the linting. All right, it's okay. Let's continue. Let me not spend time on this. It says on event is deprecated a number of warnings. Look at and actually you see this last message. It says restored changes. Okay, all the changes were brought back. So yeah, I'll look at pre-comment later. Let's go ahead. Okay, and implement today's stuff. So now I need to pull this up just a little bit slightly, and let's work on what we need to do today. So I'll go to the backend. I don't know where you guys prefer to start from. I usually like starting my coding work on the backend. routers. So we want the bookings page. I think that should be, because I'm saying we have users, okay? We understand what we dealt with here. Then we have flights. That is for flights. Then we have bookings, okay? So to see all the flights you have booked, okay? I think I'm going to remove this, okay? And keep it in this flights directory, okay? So let me just remove it here. In any case we need it, we can recreate it, okay? Back then I used to get attached so much to my code, but there's no need to get so much attached to code. And of course, for your case, if you need to keep it in that module, please do. So down here, I need to find a way. This is going to make it hard for me to commit things separately, but good enough. What we wrote yesterday was in users.py, and what we're doing today is in flights.py. So I can commit those separately. Okay, so I can do what we're going to do today is simply create an endpoint to fetch user user bookings. Okay, so I can create the path operation function, say router dot get, and I want to see how to name this shopping. I want to see how I've been naming shopping flight offers, shopping flight offers, shopping flight offers pricing, booking flight offers, shopping seat maps, shopping seat maps, shopping flight orders again. Okay, this is a get delete, get reference. This one I can simply call, say, / bookings. Okay, once you do when you hit that endpoint, we give you your data. Okay, then what we can do, you can see AI is trying to suggest stuff. Okay, so you can go to the next line. Better see what it's suggesting. Okay, says async def get user bookings, user equals to user depends get current user. We have examples of how to use get current user to pick what exactly the value is. So we can go up here. I always want to show you examples where we have done this. I think when you're booking the flight, where is it? Here, okay? So the type is user in DB. That's the actual type we have to use. So I can change this type to user in DB. Depends, get current user. Okay. So yeah, using the current user, we can return their bookings. Okay. And of course, if anything goes wrong, we can catch an exception and return this. But and raise it. But this is not, of course, I wouldn't do this immediately. This would be like the last resort on how to handle exceptions. Maybe I need to just do a separate video just handling exceptions. There's like quite a number of things that you can do to improve this. Okay. Now, flight service does not have this function called get user bookings. Okay. We need to create it. Okay. But of course, the flight service exists. So if I go to, where is that? Yeah, it's actually called Amadeus Flight Service. I was wondering. You can call it Amadeus. For getting user bookings, do we need, it doesn't have to be flight service. Okay. Maybe I can call it, okay, let's keep it the same. Let me just keep it the same, Amadeus Flight Service. But I need to change this name, okay? When I encounter things like this, it makes me now rethink the names of things I've called. For example, like saying Amadeus Flight Service. It now looks wrong to simply say Amadeus Flight Service, okay? Because what we are dealing with right now is not typically tied to Amadeus. It's not. Because we're not going to make a request to Amadeus. So probably I can say booking service, okay? Bookings service.get user bookings, but we need to have this booking service. Where can I create it? I can create it around here. Okay. I'm not thinking, you know what I'm thinking? I think I'm overthinking it. Let me close this and say bookings.py. Then you can simply keep it basic and create a function. What's the function name? Get user bookings. Okay. For now, let me just pass. Then up. I need to deal with these imports. Okay. Then up, I can say from backend.services. Okay, I'll accept what AI has given backend.services. Is it services? Where did I write this? Flights. It's supposed to be up here. Sorry, I may have confused you. So I think that is it. Then from backend, that's why sometimes you have to actually review what AI is giving you. Backend dot, but this is not an external service also. You get, this is not an external service. So calling it an external service is also misleading. I'm already seeing an issue. So I'll have to change the folder structure and just name this probably just services. Because this is an external service. I think I'll do it after. Let me just import it, but I'll need to refactor that. Import booking service. I just need to first get it working. Actually, what I'm going to do is this, okay? Because this is an external service, let me just do this to keep it simple. I'll rethink the whole thing after. My mind is a little bit tired and I'm not thinking straight at the moment. So I'll delete this. Okay, then in the Amadeus service, I'll create it temporarily, but I'm going to remove it here. Later, when I have a fresh mind and I can think clearly, I'm going to restructure everything. Call these services and stuff like that. So you can come here, simply paste this function. Then in the routers, flights.py, this now can be Amadeus service for now. Okay, so sorry for the back and forth. So we pass the user ID, but probably can I just pass the user? Okay, user.id. Then here, get the user ID, but then there's a model we need. Okay, so I'm thinking instead of calling a service, what if I think this booking model? Let's inspect this booking model. It's the one which has the list of services. I mean bookings. Okay, the ID, the user ID, the flight order ID, and the status. Okay, and it simply has a relationship. So I'm trying to think about how I actually implemented this. Okay, my goal of this booking model was to simply track. Okay, was to simply track what is happening. Okay, that when someone has made a booking for something, I track it on the back end. Okay, so that if I want to quickly find out maybe which user has booked what flight order, I use this table. Okay, I use a booking table instead of making a request to Amadeus. But then I'm discovering something right now that what I have here is not comprehensive. It does not show enough information. Okay, so to be safe, what I can do is later when I'm implementing the order, the actual order, okay, I should add more information. Okay, I should add more information to this so that we have things like maybe the price and things like that. Okay. Oh, another way I'm thinking about is using this flight order ID. Okay, I can make a request to Amadeus to fetch orders. Okay, for every flight order, fetch an order. And that would mean here, okay, in this function, okay, I would, in Amadeus, what is this thing? Here, I would simply say get flight, okay, get flight order, something like this. And the argument is a flight order ID. Then right this side, where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? What am I looking for? Okay, so in this class, what I would first do first, I'll say models.get, what's the name? Am I just tired or what? I'll say get flight order, okay? Then we shall need the flight order ID, okay? Flight order underscore ID, like that. But then we shall need this flight order ID to come from this booking table. So I would say bookings. I need to change this to some other variable, okay? Would be equals to booking. How do you query something using SQL model? Okay, let's create here. I want to prompt. I want to fetch. I'm forgetting how to use. What is so funny? I've been using. What is it called? This SQL model, and trying to write statements. Okay, without having to read it, like to start to like explicitly having a tutorial teaching me about SQL model. I've been just looking at things left and right to see how it works. So I'm going to look at an example, I think in utils security, where I did a query. But I'll have to get time on the side to learn. I think there it is. I think this session.execute select user in DB, where this is, I want to do something like this. Okay. So that would mean we need to find out. We need this session. Okay. We need this dependency of this session. So most of the things are just repetitive. Okay. So comma, paste that. Then now we can now do this, something like this. Okay. But in this case, I would want all, not one. So it means we need to import select. Sometimes when you're coding, just when you realize you have a number of things to do. So select, you can just add it up here. So for these squiggly lines, I'll just need to set up, to tell VS Code where the Python interpreter is. Okay, so I can see now bookings is equals to session.execute select. What we want to select is the booking, okay, where booking, okay, booking dot what? If you go to the booking model, booking dot user, okay, or booking dot user ID. That can also be one way. We are booking dot user underscore ID is equals to this currently logged in user. What is AI doing? Actually, I think it was helping me. Dot ID dot all. I hope this all thing exists. I'm just gambling because in Django, of course, it's right there. So bookings equals session dot execute select booking where booking dot user ID equals to user dot ID dot all. Okay. So I want to test this that it works. I'm going to, for now, I'll return an empty and then print the bookings. Okay. I'll print the bookings. So time to run the backend. I'm even yet to figure out the challenge I was facing yesterday concerning having to rebuild this, to build all the images every time. I need to probably look at the volumes. I haven't got time to do that today. It's been quite some busy day. But I'm going to get time and look at it carefully. Sometimes when they say software engineering is easy and you get such challenges, it kind of like reminds you how actually challenging it can be. Okay, where is so yesterday? If you remember, for some reason it was not loading it in the docs. And I was like, what's going on? Okay, so we have it here. So I need Postman. So go to collections. You can duplicate this to think about the name. This is bookings. Can call it bookings. This will be slash bookings. Okay. If I send, this should fail. Okay, unauthorized. That's okay. So I need to log in. Log in with this user. Okay, we have an access token that we can now use. Save that, remove this one too, save changes, come to bookings, hit send. Okay, we get a 200 okay, which is good, like we expected. So now I need to go back to the terminal, okay, and see what's happening. So I think there was a rollback. Okay, this is interesting. So I'm guessing if because we did not actually we did not make use of this data, that's why it rolled back. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, but if you look at this, what is it called? Bookings. You see where you say bookings, it brings something empty. So which means this user has no bookings. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So the question should be, I would need to create bookings for this user in order to have the booking here. All right, let's implement that. But before that, I want to create an end. Let me see. Okay, yeah, this is correct. I thought I'd seen something different, but it's correct. So when we get a booking, okay, for every booking, I need to make a request to this endpoint, okay, to this service. to get a particular flight order. I remember having their GitHub. Okay, here it is. Refresh. Is the front end running? Okay. Meanwhile, we can go to the front end and see if we are still logged in. I click login. Even without that, let me try this. Okay. Let me see. What is the yesterday we had the bug? It may not allow me to do what I wanted. I didn't want to focus on debugging today, but let's go on. I'm just buying time so that this thing loads. Okay, it has loaded. So I can now show you what I wanted to show you. Where's this page? Let me see. Flight offers, hotel booking. Does anyone see anything concerning airline, flight availability search, create orders? I don't see what I expect. I was expecting to have like an endpoint, like to show information for a particular order. If it's not there, then I would have to build my own. Let's see, flight orders. I think create flight orders. Okay, there's nothing like maybe fetch flight orders. Interesting. Yeah, lesson learned. So that means we have to build create orders, most book destinations. Am I missing something? Might have to log in. Amadeus developers. Meanwhile, okay, this search is working. Click here. I also want to click sign in here. Why is it giving me those options? Of course, okay, so this is good. I've been asked to log in, okay, before booking. But then I think I've forgotten the password. We can use for this guy here. Where is it? So I like using Postman. With Postman, you can save. Use the data and copy that password. We paste it. Okay. So now here we can. Oh, now I remember. For us to be successful, we would have to put accurate information here because Amadeus, even in their test environment, they consider information to be, even new testing, it has to be really accurate. Wow. Something, how can I create a flight order and not have to fill in the correct information in the form? Okay. Because I not go through all the pain of having to look at my passport and stuff like that. I think what I can do is this. Let me first see. Wow, these guys have changed their interface. And what is funny that I don't use my password from my memory. So I always use a password from the password manager. But I guess password managers expect the form to look in a certain way. Let me go to developers at Amadeus. That could be the one actually. Developers at Amadeus.com. Looks like the same thing. It says sign in. Yeah. They've actually changed it. Okay. But let me not sign in. Let me try to look at the self-service APIs without signing in. I don't know whether you guys find Monday a very difficult day to write code. I don't want to sign in. Wow. These guys have made it harder. Any ideas, any suggestions? Let me see. How can I? Or let me do this. If I go to Postman, okay. In Postman, you see we have a flight search, okay. Let me hit this a request. Says invalid request parameters. That could be the date, okay. Let me change the date. Date to 11, okay. 11/20. Send. This should be okay. So it is searching. Okay, this has passed. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, I'm going to copy this flight offer, this first one. Sometimes problem solving when you're tired is harder. Even something that looks simple can take you time to figure out. Then after searching, we need to go to flight price confirmation. So in price confirmation, I'll remove this old flight offer, paste the new one. Okay, then hit send. So in case you wanted to actually build your own, these are simply the steps you take. Okay. So from this flight offer, I'll pick this. Let's minimize this. I'll pick this first one. I hope I've remembered correctly. Save, close this. Then go to price flight order. Okay. So you see in flight order here, that's why I told you I prefer using Postman over the other, what is it called? This tool, what is it called? The documentation Swagger, because this one does not save information. So now I can now click this. Okay, I see this traveler information is what is supposed to be on the form here, but it has to be accurate. Okay, you have to be careful of things like date of birth, things like the email, the number, the document types, etc. Okay, I didn't want to have to type this manually in the form, but of course, the user would have to go through all this. Okay, then and also look down here. Okay, okay, there was nothing like for child, but imagine you had like 2 adults, 2 children, 1 infant. It would be a lot. And even this, I'm just feeling lazy doing it. So, but I have it here in Postman, okay? So I don't need to create an order through the form. So I can remove this old flight offer. I hope I've not taken too long. Because these guys, okay, they're saying unauthorized. But I thought I just confirmed bearer token. Let's log in. Login. By the way, when you're late, you'd have to repeat this afresh. Still unauthorized. What's happening? What endpoint am I calling? Oh, I copied it wrongly. It's supposed to be from here to this point. Okay, not unauthorized anymore. So, usually, let me tell you something. It takes some time to actually, not some time, but many times when I try at first time I always fail because the flight offer I've picked maybe has like expired or it's out of, can I say maybe they are listing, something like that. But yeah, today it has passed. Usually I always have to adjust the dates to pick something maybe which is more realistic, like a day ahead. Like if I pick something for today, probably it would have failed. So this is the flight order. Okay. So in our database, in the model here, okay, where was it? In the booking class. Okay. Later I will add certain information like this. Okay. I need to add maybe things like this information, the flight offers, maybe the traveler information, stuff like that. Okay. But now what I wanted to test now is this. Okay. I want to make sure that we receive some information. Okay. That will prove that our stuff of booking was actually working. So I can remove login, go to bookings again and click, go to the console of the backend. Okay, and if you look, there we are. Okay, so now this user has a flight order. Okay, so I simply avoided using the form and used the postman to quickly go through the process of booking. Okay, so we have a flight order here. You get. So and you can see it has a flight order ID and a user ID. So my question is, my next task is this. Using this flight order ID, okay? Because now I can say, can do something like this. Just to make sure that you see that they're unique for bookings. In bookings, say booking dot flight order ID. Okay. So that when I hit send, this time we're going to see one ID. Where is it? This. Okay. Where is it? Mm, is that the one? Yeah, that's the same value. Okay. But like, the issue we had yesterday, we would have to rebuild to see the exact word here booking. But that's correct. So let me do this. I want to try something I've never tried before. What happens if you try to create an order, a flight order if you try to make a request for a flight order using the same information you've given? What happens? Let me see. I want to see what oh, it works. Okay. I actually thought maybe they would say you've already created the flight order or something like that. That means if I came to the database here, I mean, not the database, if I made a request for bookings, we should have two values at least, at the very least. Yeah, that's correct. So you see from the old thing before we build, because this thing is like not rebuilding our changes, okay? But for the old one that we had, which was printing bookings, you see, we have the first one, okay, then the second one. So there are two, which is good. So now the next task would be to ensure that our service can fetch, okay? For every flight order, we fetch the flight order information. But now my challenge is with Amadeus changing their portal, okay? And I don't want to go into this and reveal my password here. These guys are crazy. Okay, not crazy, but I was not expecting this. Okay? That I'll come and they'll change everything. And now my password manager can't even suggest. Wow. I will configure this later and fix the password. Let us see. Am I missing something in the document? Because I felt like one time I found an endpoint for fetching order. I think it should be this one here, flight order management. Yeah, it should be this. Let us see, get the Python SDK, flight order management. Yeah, guys, it's the one. Wow. So it's crazy how coding when you're tired can't help you literally. So it's the one, guys. Look at me. Very embarrassing. So yeah, this is it. So Amadeus, that booking dot flight order. Okay, then we pass in the flight order, then we call get. Okay, then we return response dot data. So I can need to actually copy all this. Okay, copy this and go to our service. Now I can confidently uncomment this. Okay, go to our get flight order. Okay, then here with the Amadeus get flight order, what is it? It should be here. Okay, get flight order, and I paste this code. Okay, what I need to use simply to indent it a little bit, like so. Let me see. Okay, indent this other one too, like that. I can leave this comment. Retrieve the flight order based on its ID. That's okay. Then here, what I need to do is say self dot Amadeus. So is it self dot Amadeus? Self dot Amadeus. Yes, that's correct. But for self to work, remember this is a public instance method, so it has to have self as the first argument there. What's wrong with AI? Okay, self as the first argument like this. So self dot Amadeus dot booking dot flight order, but this time I pass in the actual variable flight order ID dot get. Then here I simply return response dot data. And of course, if there's an error, that error will be raised again. And that is something we need to do to catch it here. Okay. So now instead of printing this, I'll come here. Okay. And do this. Simply say order. I can save the flight. I say the flight order. The order would be equals to this. Okay. Then I can say booking dot dot flight order ID. Let me look at it. It's flight order ID, this one. Close, paste, remove 1, 0. That is it. Then for now, I can simply print the order. Okay, like that. Let's check it out from here. Have we got some? Okay, I need to rebuild. Are you seeing now the single string print statement is working? I don't know what I did to mess up the whole thing. Okay, I don't know whether it's a volume compose.yaml has been touched, but there's something I did wrong that I need to check concerning the volumes and why I'm not able to restart. Why it's not able to pick up my changes and restart automatically. It's been a pain having to build every time. So, and I'm thinking about an idea. Instead of maybe calling it from here, okay, I can pick all the IDs, okay, and send them at once here. Then I tell Amadeus to fetch. I can create a function down that fetches all using this. But let's see about that when this guy is done building. Maybe let me actually build it here to show what I'm trying to do. I can do this, okay? I say define get flight underscore orders, okay? Then this function will also be an instance method, and it will take a list of flight order IDs, okay? Just like this. Means what is AI suggesting? So it says flight orders equals to initial list, says for order in flight order IDs, says response equals to self.amadeus.booking.flight order ID dot get. Okay. Then it says flight orders dot append response dot data return flight orders. This could actually work. Okay. Actually, what I was thinking about earlier is instead of doing this here, okay, I call this one here, get flight order, which in turn calls this. But it's not bad, okay? So I can leave this one for fetching one flight order, this one for fetching multiple flight orders. So this one takes only a single flight order. This one here takes in multiple flight orders. Like you see, the annotation is saying a list of strings because the IDs are strings. So this could work, but let's first prove out this, okay? Yeah, interesting times coding with AI. AI generates the code and you review it. If you're unlucky, you could review it for an hour or a whole day and give up on life. So let's find out. Send a request, okay? The fact that it's taking longer shows it's working. It says object dict can't be used in await expression. There we go. So which line was that? Which line? I seen this. The query worked. Can't be used. Who is the best interpreter of errors here? I mean of errors actually. Let me see, where is it? Can't be used in await expression. Which line is causing this? Object dict. A dictionary can't be used in an await expression. Which dictionary are we using in await? Is this the issue? And you know what is crazy about this? We have to go the hard way. Rebuilding. Or is it talking about, because we're not calling get flight orders. We are calling get flight order. Is there an await expression here? I'm trying to check if we used await in the previous Amadeus operations. Get flight order. No, there's nothing like of that kind. Except for Amadeus booking flight order. Okay. Let me first do this. Okay. I'll print something like that. Okay. But again, what is crazy, it won't show because we need to rebuild the image. This I really need to fix this. I need to get time to run fix. We don't have to keep rebuilding the image every time I change. Even if it's fast, it still wastes time, like a lot of time. Ben Madani, you're saying return dict. Where's the return dict? Do I have a return dict somewhere? Am I returning a dict? It says object dict can't be used in await expression. What dict was that? Was this the one? Def. I have a def get return dict. Really? Oh my god, that would be crazy. Where could that be? Def get. What are you talking about? I can't seem to comprehend. I'm not seeing anything like returning a dict. I don't know what I did to this Docker thing. I need to give it time. Tomorrow, probably, or the next day, and fix it. Where is Postman? Okay, server is not yet up. So it's waited 200. Okay. So what was the issue? So if I scroll, probably could be an issue caused by a change that was picked up, but we're not seeing it because we are not rebuilt the image. Do you see how crazy that is? Okay. So if you look at this, we get the orders. I think it's a lot of orders. Flight order response. We get lots of them. I think. So the thing is actually okay. It's pretty okay. So what I need to do is simply come here. I can remove this. Okay, because if I search this for flight order response, you see, it's right here. This one here. So it worked. Okay. If I search for, so I can now remove it. And I search for what? I think this, we didn't give it a proper name, but now we can use this one here, get flight orders. Okay. Get flight orders. So to use get flight orders, I don't need to loop in. Okay, I may need to simply say, can say order underscore IDs will be equals to bookings dot flight order underscore order ID. Come on, order ID. What is AI suggesting for bookings in bookings? Yeah, this is what I want. Bookings dot flight order ID for bookings in booking. Okay, so we have all the order IDs here. So what I can do is simply say flight orders, okay, will be equals to, I can now remove all this and say Amadeus service, come on, Amadeus service dot get flight orders, okay? Then pass the list of flight orders like that. Then here we can simply print those flight orders, escape, and return, okay? Simply return the flight orders, okay? Of course, there's more to do in this function. Like I've already told you, I'll have to implement logging for all these path operations. I have to implement proper error handling. I have to implement, what else? Logging, okay? Yeah, but I'm trying to get the MVP done so that I focus on other things. So I can now remove, okay, we can print this. So maybe put some kind of like statement, flight orders, okay, just like that. Something we can use to look at what's AI doing. Too many suggestions. Like I'm done. Why are you suggesting? Okay. Even this statement, okay, I can have like maybe a service which is responsible for fetching. I was looking at excuse me, it's called a design guide by Hacksoft. Okay, but they designed it for Django because they were using Django for many years, and they created a structured way of organizing your Django project. It is something that I think I can borrow here. So that these kind of statements are in the service. Okay, actually not in the service, what they call a selector. Okay, a function which is responsible for fetching from the database. That is where I would put this. Okay, but again, that's a refactoring I can do later. For now, I want to just get the basic thing to work, then have it there. Now, can remove this. Okay, so ideally, we ensure the user has been authenticated. We have access to the database, okay, through session. We fetch all the bookings for the current user, okay. After getting their bookings, what do? We simply retrieve the IDs for every booking. And then after that, use the manual service to get all the flight orders, okay, and then return them. So I hope this is okay. Hit send. One thing I want to do, okay, is I'm thinking about something, an optimization, and I don't know what you guys will think. I think this dot all operation, okay. I know that in SQL, you can query, you can fetch a particular column only, okay. So like in this case, I want to only pick the ID column so that I avoid, I think this line here, line 307, I can avoid this for loop, this list comprehension, okay, by fetching the user ID, okay. So I don't know if I can, if I say select booking dot user ID will work, okay. I don't know how that works in SQL Alchemy, okay, but I'm going to figure it out. Let us see if this has worked. Go to Postman. We're still getting an empty list. I'm guessing why. Because of the pain we have to go through to rebuild this thing the manual way. I don't know what I spoiled, but I need to create time. I thought I would do it today, but probably tomorrow. Tomorrow I think I would have to squeeze time to deal with the logging, because now I have to apply logging everywhere. I have to apply what else? Try catch, exception handling. Then what else? There's that error we had concerning pushing, that the linter was fighting us. Also is a challenge to resolve, but not bad. Okay. In fact, even if we did only the endpoint today, it would be success still. Let me see. Hit send. And also we need to catch. Okay. So you see it's now working. Okay. Working perfectly well. So you can see this is the first. Okay. This is the first flight order. Let me see, how many are they? How many? So this is the first one. There are two. Oh, yeah, okay. This is correct. So we expected only two. This other one, okay, so you can see the flight order. I think I'll keep it this way, so that if I want to get the flight orders of someone, I just get it from I use what was recorded in the DB, okay, to fetch them, fetch the bookings, then pick out the IDs and make a request to Amadeus, okay, to give us the flight orders. But I need that improvement. I feel like querying using SQL at this line, okay, will be a much better operation than fetching all the bookings first, then then pick out the IDs from every booking, okay? I feel like to get other IDs, we don't need to do this and this, okay? I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like that's like too much work, okay? Now that endpoint is done, what do I need? We can ask, okay? How can we ask this AI tool? Okay. Can say select only order only flight order ID from DB, not bookings IDs, like that. Let us see. Actually, I should have chosen Grok. Okay. Let's see, me close. Wait, I cancelled. Wow. Let's see. This is sometimes how I learn things like SQL, what's called SQL Alchemy, without even having to learn it explicitly. So my guess was right. Do you remember what I told you guys? That it could be something as saying booking.flight order ID. Yeah, I think it comes with experience. As you keep on trying out things, you get to understand how something would particularly work. Because this is now better. Instead of giving us all bookings, okay, we only get the flight order ID. So I can remove this, okay? I can comment out that line of code, okay? And I feel like having just one SQL statement, hitting the DB and giving us what we want will be okay. So let us, but I could be wrong, okay? Could be wrong. We need to find out whether I'm right or wrong. In fact, before rebuilding, I should have put a statement here, okay? To print the order IDs, just in case of an error to see what we are picking. But it's pretty interesting. I love this. Ben Madani. Curious to know where you're watching from. Yesterday I was shocked to have someone I know from Zimbabwe here. A friend, actually. So we have that again. Okay, we say 200. So yeah, you see, it works. Okay, and that's actually much faster. Okay, so one call to the DB to get our data. So I don't need this. We don't need to have this list expression. Okay, that makes it quite easy. Our catch. Okay, I'm thinking about how to use our catch here. For a given number of flight, one time we used our catch. I think we used it on flight search. Search this one here. Okay, we had this. Copy. I don't know if I can apply it. Okay, I'm thinking about how to apply this. Okay, paste it. Okay, so we would need to build a Redis key. If you look at this function of ours, it's called build Redis key. Okay, it takes a dictionary. Okay, and builds a key that we can use in Redis. Okay, then we first try to get from our catch, if you remember our catch, if that key exists. Okay, if the key exists in the catch, we shall get the data. Okay, let me show you Redis key.catch. If you missed me building that catch backend, please watch it. It's this, you learn something from this, by the way. It's very nice. I loved this live stream. So you see, we get the key from Redis, okay? Because Redis runs in memory, so it will be faster. So, but we need to build that key, okay? How can I build that key? If I go back here to flight search, okay, we can set it, okay? Consider but that key needs to be built to be consistent. Yeah, for our case, what is this? Wow, I deleted the file instead. It's supposed to be here. Then scroll to the bottom. Yeah, then after getting our data, would just set it, okay? Would set it there. In our case, it would build the flight orders like that. But I'm thinking about how to get a key, okay? How to generate a key, because I cannot just use the user ID. Using the user ID would fail it, okay? It would fail the purpose, because if I put the user, it would always get the same data every time. Same data. Oh, what I can do is this, okay? Let me copy this. Okay. If I have this here, okay, and I did this, okay, instead at this level, and I built a key using these order IDs. Okay, I would pass a dictionary here because this takes a dictionary. Okay, and say order IDs. Okay, what AI is saying. Okay, order IDs is equals to this. Let's see if it works. Okay, using this as the key, so that if these order IDs exist in our cache, we simply return. Okay, and of course this I can rename it as flight orders. Okay, even here's flight orders, like that. Okay, so we query from the database the flight orders. Okay, if we have them in our cache, we simply return them. Okay, otherwise, if they are not there, we fetch from Amadeus. So in case we have them in our cache, okay, it will save us some money and time. Okay, first of all, money, because every time you query, you make a request to Amadeus, you spend money. Okay, I'll be charged for that. And also, making a request to Amadeus takes some time. Okay, like you've seen, but getting from our cache is almost instant, almost real time. It's very fast. Okay, it's very fast, and it will save us time and money. So here when you're saying redis.set key flight orders, okay, in this case, let me see what to do. Okay, we build a key, get, okay, key, okay, all right, okay, this is okay. We're storing the flight orders. I want to see something. Let's go back. Let's see. Yeah, it has worked. Okay, so it has worked. So let's try to fetch again. You see, it's now almost instant. Can you guess why it's instant? Because of the catch. Perfect. I love this. I think no matter how many times I click, it's fast. Okay. And of course, I'm thinking about implementing rate limiting. Okay, we need to add rate limiting to this, to our project. Okay, this is very nice. So see, almost instant. Why? Because of the Redis cache, and Redis, remember, runs in memory. It's an in-memory tool and not the disk. Okay, so yeah. This is it. Pretty nice. Okay, so yeah, the number of things that we shall keep doing, like I've said, logging, error handling. Of course, we are trying to handle, but we need better error handling, logging, better error handling, rate limiting, alerts, and monitoring. A number of things, even Kubernetes has to be applied to this project. The number of AI integrations I need to put to this. So yeah, I love this Redis key. I mean, this Redis catch. It has really come in handy. I think this is something I'll apply. Okay, it's right here on Airport City Search. That's nice. Get flight ordered, we have it. It needs to also be here. Okay, so in case we have the flight order ID in our cache, we simply fetch it instead of making a request to Amadeus. It will save some money and time. It's amazing how just one thing, one small thing like this makes your project run faster. Can you imagine? Just this. Look at how fast it is. Just that is enough. And now we have a very fast. Wow, I'm so happy. Yeah, that's why it's good to know certain things. Okay, so the Redis cache we built is actually paying off for us. We build the key. If it exists, Redis will give us our orders and return them. Otherwise, yeah, that is it. Now we can go to the front end. Front end will be easy because you know what I'm going to do. Okay, you know what I'm going to do. Some of us don't have that love to type front end code. So if I click on this, okay, I'm supposed to go to your bookings page. Okay, so I see the bookings page. it has this kind of data, but this is like pretty static. Okay, it's not real stuff. Okay, this is on my, it's been called my. Okay, so we're gonna change it in a moment, and just to show it is this one here, my. Probably should have been maybe bookings, something like that. I'm going to change this. This was AI generated. So yeah, those are the consequences. Let me say, start by adding context by saying copilot instructions.md. Then I can say use the endpoint to fetch user bookings and display them on the page in my slash page.tsx. Then I can say below is an example of a valid response having a user's flight orders. Then I can come here to postman, okay, and copy this and paste. Let's watch and see if it can do that. I go and rest. It's already about 12 minutes past the hour. Actually, whether or not this time I'm going to be strict. I'm actually trying to set up a timer here. This time I'm going to respect the timer. Are you seeing what this thing is doing? It has created what? Profile instead. Oh no, it's not profile. I was going to wonder. It has created another page called. It's editing the same page. I was going to be like, this damn tool. Let me set a timer here, guys. Quickly, 5 minutes. Start. I don't want to overdo it like I did yesterday. So I know. And of course, there are things I will change later. Like, for example, this should not be accessed directly. Okay. You need to like log in and stuff like that. Okay. 5-minute countdown. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So it has removed the mock bookings, okay, which is okay. So all you see in red is stuff being removed. Then you see it has created an interface for booking, which is this. And then I think it's kept some other things. A use effect to this endpoint, okay, slash bookings, including the token, okay, transformed bookings, return that. These are something that I'll just improve them on by myself. I'm seeing a red squiggly. Okay, I can keep that. Just go through it to have an interface that represents the booking, guest status, color. All these are things that need to be changed. Okay. Use effect fetch bookings, if not token, okay. The set error, okay. And the return, okay, fetch bookings. So get status color has been redefined. I can help them delete it by myself like that. Page size is not being used, so I guess I can remove that for now. Search, okay, let us see what it has. Parsing EMAScript source code failed. It's okay. We can rebuild that. So looks like it failed again. Import and export cannot be used outside of module code. All right, I've had you. What is this? So if we see filter, there's an issue. This. The thing has not written the component correctly. Let's see if this thing will know. So I think when I was deleting things up, I accidentally removed either a comma or something. Says the code has a duplicate export default function definition in a mixing closing bracket for the first function, causing syntax error. Merge the two function bodies into a single component by removing the second export definition and integrating the search. Where is that first one? This is the first one, right? Okay, let me leave it regenerate. So I guess it's merging them. Wow, my 5 minutes. My timer is up. Let me give it 2 minutes and I go ahead to rest. Let's see. You still haven't solved it, okay? These are things I could look at on my own. So you see, it's actually a repetition. If you see it, okay? Are you seeing this kind of stuff? It's already up here. So you don't need this kind of stuff here. In any case, even this should be defined up. Yeah, so I guess these tools are still a work in progress, okay? But of course, because you're already skilled, you can always make changes you need. This I think is for filtering. Or you can read it also. Minimize this. Just look at it, okay? It says use memo. Use memo hook. If there's no such term, simply return bookings. Otherwise, they change the search term to lowercase, then filter through, okay, by changing ID, PNR, origin, destination, passenger names, okay. That makes sense. The total pages for pagination. You never use effect hook for setting the page. I need to understand why they're doing this. Then of course you have the GSX here. Let's see. Says error loading bookings, no authentication token found. Interesting. Let's try to log in. Where is that password? Introduce this. If this doesn't work, then no problem. Okay, I'll fix it later. I keep saying fix fleet and then things pile up. Okay, so go to my bookings. There we are. Okay, so but we need to, instead of showing that error that authentication details not available, unable to find authentication token, we should just redirect the person to the login page, okay, and clear the session so that this logout and this thing does not appear. In fact, this my bookings should only appear when you've logged in. So yeah, we have 2 flight orders from the backend, and here we are. Okay, it's the same. This is actually the same person. Okay, with the total, and since the booking has been confirmed. Okay, but this should show probably like pending. Okay, and for the ticket status, we also need to have it in the on the backend, so you can see the thing of download ticket. But of course, this is not accurate. Okay, I have to deal with uploading. Okay, images and stuff like that for this to work. So yeah, final. We are almost there. We're getting close. If I search by, let me see if it has nailed this. Okay, that's okay. PNR is not there. Search by, say, George. Okay, that's okay. So the search is okay. It has nailed it on the first try. Yeah, I think this is pretty good success. So we just need to prevent that this page is only accessed by authenticated people. In case you come here and you're not authenticated, you go to the login page. Okay, so that we avoid that error. Let me try something. If we click on this book a flight, what happens? Okay, it takes us to this page, which is correct. My bookings, there we are. So we have successfully implemented what is needed. Let me try something again. I want to see the behavior. My bookings, okay, not bad. So you can see your bookings actually on this page is where you'll see your bookings and tickets. Okay, later we shall work on this part of viewing the details, okay, of your booking, and also being able to download the ticket, okay, and the ticket status here should not say ready, okay, automatically. It should show probably something like maybe pending, okay, or processing, so that when it's ready, we upload it for you, and then you can find your ticket. Nice. So George Gonzalez, yeah, baby steps, okay. Who knew that I would be here? Step by step, sometimes even with a lot of work, I have to balance between the job and building this. But it's been fun. So thank you for building with me on another successful day. Yeah, we are moving. Right now I can say we are halfway there. Okay, but moving confidently. So thank you for learning with me. Thank you, Ben Madani, for being an active participant of today's stream. See you and talk to you soon.